I started DJing mostly just getting forced on stage because I was a producer first off, and I guess some promoters heard my music and they wanted me to take the stage, and I had no idea what I was doing, and I had a couple train wreck gigs. Yeah, so I never really intended to be a DJ, but which seems like with a lot of other producer DJs that that's the way it works, that you get sort of forced on stage before you're ready. Well, obviously there's a massive difference between producing and DJing. Producing is a lot more, intimate. It's two completely different worlds, and for a long time I used Ableton to DJ, which was more sort of trying to take the studio into a live setting because I didn't actually have any technical DJ skills. But the more I go, and it's still happening, I'm learning more about how DJing is actually sort of an art form, which I didn't really believe at first when I was just a producer. So now I've ditched Ableton, and I think in terms of the mindset that you have to have is about balancing what you the people want to hear, and also showing them things that they might not know yet. There's nothing worse than a self-indulgent DJ who just plays his favorite tunes that no one else really wants to hear, but you also don't want to be the guy who just goes to the Beatport or whatever top 10, I mean, I haven't been really DJing for as long as a lot of guys have, so I don't think I have the best input on what it takes to be a respectable DJ. I can tell you what I respect about other DJs. I really respect putting songs in sets that people aren't expecting, like surprise tracks, which I try to do in most of my sets. I play dance music, but I'll put in a rock song from the 80s or a 90s hip-hop song. So I really respect that. I definitely respect the guys who can scratch, like A-Track and all those guys. It's not really something I've ever pursued, and there's definitely an art to reading a crowd and being able to adapt to different crowds in different places, which took me a while to learn. So that's something I think is definitely a big part about being a respectable DJ. And also, in a more specific form, is being a good opening DJ, which I think when you're doing this series of interviews, you'll probably hear a lot of. And especially for me, because I'm fairly new, I have only become recognized in whatever small sense recently, so I was playing a lot of opening sets, and you really want to go pedal to the metal and show them, what you got, but there's definitely an art to an opening set, and I think that playing the opening set, and I think most DJs will tell you, is the hardest set to play. Because headlining, you can just go out there and people want to hear, and what they want to hear from you of your own songs, but opening is a lot more about selection and timing, and I think there's a lot more thought that you have to put into it. My style of DJing is pretty frenetic. I definitely like to mix fast. and I don't really let songs. I take my favorite parts of songs, and sometimes through a lot of editing, like pre-editing, and I cut them up and I only use the parts I want. So I'll end up playing a lot more songs in an hour than the average DJ probably would. But I think that's a trend that's happening more and more. And also I like to play tracks that people aren't expecting, whether it's a rock song, a rap song, just to sort of keep the crowd on their toes. And I think it's a way that crowds can remember you, especially because we're all, especially dance music DJs, we're all choosing from the same pool of tracks. So I mean, there's only so many selections. But if you can come out with a great surprise track, it can either really fail or it can do really well. And it's definitely the most rewarding part of a set when you kind of take that risk and it pays off. I think what sets me apart is the fact that I play songs that you're never gonna expect. I'm not saying I'm the only DJ who does that, but in the world that I'm playing in right now and the guys I'm playing with, I'm hearing a lot of homogenous, there's nothing, it's not quite innovation, but there's not a lot of risk taking, and I think I'm a fairly risk taking DJ. I'm not afraid to play something that is not a club track. It's not what the people there were expecting to hear. It's not necessarily even the music they like, but I'm hoping to sort of just shake them and say, I'm still here. It's easy to forget that the DJ's even up there because you're just hearing this constant loop of this, bangers or whatever, and then you say, it's kind of like a shake to the crowd, say, like, listen to me again, So I think that would be what would set me apart. My name is Charlie Darker, and this is my life as a DJ.